right, welcome to part two of the Pro Tour-Valencia pregame show. I'm Brian David Marshall here in the Tournament Center. And so the big story this weekend has got to be the Player of the Year race. That is, it's neck and neck. Tomohiro Saito is in first place. Behind him by 2 points is Kenji Samura. Kenji's giving up an opportunity to maintain parity with Saito. He's not going to Grand Prix Brisbane after this weekend. He's going to go to the Invitational. Tomohiro Saito is skipping the Invitational. He's going to Brisbane. Watching those two players neck and neck is going to be an exciting story. But there's a dark horse right behind them. Shingo Kurihara is in third place. He's actually playing the same deck as Saito that Saito designed. Saito said it's fine. He can finish second. I'm still winning this tournament. I'm winning Player of the Year. The highest ranked American in the Player of the Year race is Paul Cheon. And Paul's having a fantastic year. He just came off his third Grand Prix top 8, which is just tipped him into a pretty good stratosphere in terms of the Player of the Year race and his expectations for next year. So we sat down and we talked with Paul about frankly, his awesome year. So Paul, when you made your top 8 in Grand Prix San Francisco, that was a pretty big event for you. And why don't you tell us why?
It guaranteed that I hit level 5 for next season, which is a pretty big deal for me, yeah.
So you haven't actually really been playing that long. Your first Pro Tour was Pro Tour Philadelphia?
Yeah, that was the first Pro Tour that I played in, yeah.
So not that long ago. It's a pretty nice run you've had this year. 3 Grand Prix top 8s?
Yeah, it's 3. It's pretty unreal, yeah.
And now you have 2 points guaranteed here, 2 points guaranteed at Worlds. So that's going to bring you to the 40-point threshold. You're the highest ranked American in the Player of the Year race right now. You're within 14 points of the lead. What are your expectations for the rest of the year?
I mean, obviously now the goal is to try to hit level 6. I mean, it's still not going to be easy. Pro Tours are always really hard. But I mean, if I can post a good result here and Worlds and maybe Daytona, I can hit level 6 and that'd be pretty sweet.
But you're not going to be doing the grueling Grand Prix chase that a lot of the Japanese players and French players who are ahead of you right now on the list?
I don't know. That just seems a little too crazy for me. And it's also like traveling the world. It's a little expensive right now. So like we were looking up tickets for Brisbane and it was pretty hefty. So I don't know. I'm not really chasing the Player of the Year right now. I mean, if it happens, that'd be awesome. But for now, my goal is to hit level 6, and that's the next step for me.
How do you feel about your deck for this weekend?
It's pretty good. I mean, I don't think there's any deck out there right now. I mean, it's not too much different from last year's extended. So there's not going to be any decks that's really going to wow you. And so, I mean, I think we're just going to try and play decks that we're comfortable playing. And, we had this huge test group, like 20-plus people, all good players. And we all started with a deck we had in mind, and nobody has changed. Everybody realizes what the metagame is going to be like, but they're all playing decks they're comfortable playing. And, I think that's the case for us. And, I think as long as nothing crazy happens, I think our deck's pretty good.
So you feel pretty good. Anyone else playing your deck?
Well, me, Luis, and a couple of our friends are playing the deck that we came up together with. Yeah. Okay. And you feel good? You got more than 2 points in this deck? Oh yeah, definitely. 2 points would be a disappointment for sure. So I'm gonna try my best and see what happens.
All right. Thanks a lot, Paul Cheon.
No problem.
So Paul alluded to the team he's working with. I mentioned that Saito's working with Shingo Kurihara and Shuya Nakamura. I talked to Olivier Ruel. He said he's working with his brother Antoine, Rasmus Sebast, and Manuel Butcher, who in the earlier segment is Manuel B., who's been a powerhouse in the PEs for the last month. A couple of different teams that are working there, but the big team has got to be the American team. It's just monstrous. It's not even really American. It's Herberholz, it's Nassif. Well, why don't I let Mark Herberholz tell you about it himself? He was kind enough to come into the tournament center and talk to us, so let's cut to the interview with Mark. You have a really good team that you're working with for this event. Can you tell us a little bit about who you've been surrounding yourself for the last couple months?
Yeah, well, for Yokohama, it was me, Gabriel Nassif, Johan Sadigpour, Richie Hohen, and Antonio DeRosa, Ben Rubin, and then a couple other guys I can't really remember at the moment. And then we we always noticed that Paul Cheon and Louis Scott Vargas always show up with pretty good decks. So we talked to them at like random pro tournament or something like that. They seemed interested. They wanted in, so they brought along like Ben Lundquist, and then Jerry Thompson tagged along. So it was pretty fun.
Jerry Thompson's been kind of like a secret powerhouse on the PTQ scene, building decks, right, for the last year.
Yeah, he always has the best decks for the GPs and the PTQs. He just play. The kid literally watches Moto replays of top 8 premier events probably 8 hours a day. He knows every single deck on Moto.
So I have to ask you the question. I mean, you have all those players. I mean, all these great deck designers. You've got these workhorses in Paul Cheon and LSV. Did you break it?
Actually, like we found out after a lot of testing, we tested every deck we could think of, like had all these crazy, insane brews. Pat Chapin probably had like 3 crazy brews a week, just insane stuff. It was an ongoing contest between him and BR and who could play with the craziest cards. And we just figured out that the format's really even. Every deck beats every deck, except for Dredge, which beats everything unless you play a bunch of sideboard cards versus it. And so everyone honestly just picked the deck that they started testing first and they had the most experience with. They're like, it has a few good matchups. That goes like 50-50 against the rest of the field. I'll stick with this.
So the value of your team is not necessarily in terms of innovation, but in terms of just having this really high level of player to play test against?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think we missed any decks in the format. Like, I don't think we'll see a deck list this weekend and we'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe we didn't think about that. But we basically just tried to cover everything and get a feel for the format, play every deck, see which one does the best. And then nothing was really doing that great, so everyone just picked their pet deck.
And then tune sideboards and okay. So what are your predictions for this weekend?
I don't know. Someone from our group's got to make top 8. We got about 1 billion people in it, so hopefully it's me so I can get a new lease on life.
Excellent. Well, good luck this weekend, Mark.
Thanks a lot.
So there you have it, a super team hoping for some super results this weekend. And that's about wrapping it up for the pregame show. But we'll be here all weekend long in the tournament center. I'll be doing event features with Rich Hagon and Randy Bueller, who should get here any minute now. Rich will be doing his podcast, of course, and we'll have our crack team of writers, sans Bill Stark, but they'll be doing feature matches, deck analysis. We'll be doing deck features throughout the weekend here in the tournament center. And then, of course, Randy and I are going to be in the booth on Sunday. We're going to bring you the top 8 coverage. Starts pretty early, so you're going to have to set your alarms. We start at 4:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a great tournament. It's going to be very exciting. In addition to all the coverage, we're going to have a huge announcement about side events at Worlds, the last Pro Tour in the 2007 season. Some pretty exciting stuff. It's going to be in New York, my hometown. I can't wait. Stay tuned all weekend long. This is Brian David Marshall from MagicTheGathering.com and the Tournament Center.